Dealing with a CO. Are you a self-surrender or white-collar criminal, and are you worried about how to deal with a CO? And are you afraid that the COs are going to be like the ones on TV? Well, I can reassure you, they're nothing like the ones on TV. However, you do need to know how to deal with a CO. Stay tuned, and I'll tell you all about it. Before I get into that, be sure you like this video and hit that subscribe button to keep up on all my content. I should be posting on a regular basis, and if you can comment or share this video, I'd greatly appreciate it. Now, as a white-collar criminal, you have to remember one little detail. COs are not your friends. They're not your confidants. They're not somebody you should console in for all your problems. Yeah, there's some COs that are counselors. Some may give you good advice, but don't take that as they're there to counsel you. They're basically there to make sure you don't escape, you don't run away, and you don't kill each other, including yourself. That's it. They're not your friends. Understand that there's a class system in prison. COs at the top, and their superiors are over them. You are under the COs. So don't expect them to have any sympathy or compassion for you. Now, a lot of COs at Herlong do, but you should, as a white-collar criminal, you should not expect that to be the case. You will come off as entitled if you do. And entitled inmates have a very difficult time at Herlong Prison. Don't try to be the CO's friend either. You may have a respect from the COs. They may respect you more, but at the end of the day, they're COs, you're an inmate. If an inmate sees you get along too well with a CO, they're going to start questioning whether or not you're a snitch. And if something goes wrong and they think your relationship with that CO caused whatever happened to happen, they're going to make your life difficult at Herlong Prison Camp. And yeah, it's a camp, so you won't get shanked, but you may have to sit by yourself, or you may see some things come up missing, or whatever creative things they may come up with. I've seen people at Herlong Prison Camp who came off as snitches. I've seen them sit by themselves. I see them kicked out of certain TV rooms, and I've seen them not allowed to interact with any of the other inmates, because you don't know if that inmate is going to snitch, get them in trouble, or turn around and lie. The snitches are not trusted in there, and so be careful trying to get along with a CO so you don't look this way. The best advice I can give you as far as how to keep the COs out of your way is to be busy. I have other videos I can post down at the bottom on what you should do while you're in prison. But basically, that little plan you wanted to do that you always wish you could do that in prison. Business plans, read your books, write a book. Just stay busy. Don't try to get along and try to be buddy-buddy with the CO. And typically, if the CO see that you're very busy and you're always going to your job and you keep your bunks clean and you just stay out of trouble, usually they will leave you alone. If they do bug you, it's because of count time or because of the routine checks. But that's it. COs at Herlong Prison Camp basically want to be left alone, and they don't want to bother you. They want to be left alone, and they want to go home as fast as possible. The fastest way of doing that is to sit in their office and watch TV. As long as you let them do that, they're not going to bother you. If you do have to deal with a CO, address them by Mr. or Mrs. and their last name unless they tell you differently. Be sure you say please and thank you, and you address your concerns as quickly and concisely as possible. Don't beat around the bush. Don't do any crazy elaborations. Say exactly what you want. That's it. Now, if they ask you why or they want more information, just tell them. And be as patient as possible. Assume the CO has a lot going on and he needs to hurry up and get this done. Now, if the CO manages to do what you need him to do, thank him and go about your way. Do not shake his hand. Do not give him a hug. Do not touch him at all. Just say thank you and go about your business. If the CO says no and is unimportant, just say, hey, I understand. thank you anyway, and go about your business. But let's say you really need the CEO to do something for you. Then what you do is you say, okay, I understand, thank you, walk away, and see if you can get another inmate who's better at problem solving and talking to the CEO to address the CEO. Because the last thing you want to do is come off as angry or pissed off. And if you do that, that's going to hurt your chances of getting what you want, and it may cause a whole other problem that you didn't really want to have. If that inmate is able to help you get what you need from that CEO, obviously give that inmate a little love, maybe give us something on the commissary list. Whatever you do, do not send a cop-out on a CO. A cop-out is basically a request to inmate. You send this to your CAP counselor or the warden, depending on who you address it to, and you can, in that cop-out, address the problems and grievances you have towards the CO. This is snitching. Now, I'm not saying COs are above the law. I am saying if there's a problem between you and a CO, try to solve it by way of another inmate or man-to-man. You and the CO talk it out. By going to his superiors, this puts you in a position to where his bosses have got to choose between someone he trusts and an inmate he doesn't trust. The CO usually wins this. Now, yeah, there are times the inmate could win, but there's going to be retaliation on top of that. So be sure if you go against a CO that is worth it, that you're ready for the backlash. Because win or lose, it's going to affect you. Also keep in mind, I saw an inmate get sent up because he had got caught stealing or something like that. But the problem was, not that he stole something, but he was always talking about the COs and always sending cop-outs on the COs. And according to the other inmates, it wasn't that he stole, it was the fact that they found, the COs found a way to get him up as retaliation for those cop-outs that he's been sending out. So keep that in mind. But if you're a white-collar criminal and the only thing you want to do is go home to your wife and kids and try to figure out how to deal with your life from this point forward, remember, you're there for a short period of time. Less than 2 years in some cases. Keep your head down, deal what you gotta deal with, go home. Stay busy and focus on going home. Do not try to be so confrontational that you're getting COs becoming your enemy. The second a CO is your enemy, whether it's your fault or not, prison camp is hell. Now, it's been a while since I've been to prison camp, but if I miss anything, please leave it down in the comments below. And if there's anything else you'd like me to address or bring up, please leave it down in the comments below as well.